Hello everyone and welcome to Dungeons & Death Battles, the series in which we search for the most lethal monsters in all of Dungeons & Dragons. Today we will be smashing our way through Season 4, in which 16 deadly dungeon denizens, as voted on by you incredible arena patrons, will be battling it out to see which one of them is worthy of taking home the CR4 crown. The arena rules are simple, the monsters start 30 feet apart, there is no fleeing the map, victory is achieved by kill only, and outside influence is not allowed. In today's Deathly Duke Out, 2 more monsters will be entering the arena to see which one of them has what it takes to rise up into the quarterfinal round, propelling them a step closer towards that coveted Season 4 crown. In today's blue corner we have the Ancient Chuul, an aberration from times long forgotten, a nigh immortal weapon of destruction that brings its enemies down with a set of devastating claws and paralyzing tendrils. The Chuul strides forth into the arena with a 16 AC thanks to its chitinous armor and 76 hit point average, which is backed up by a set of sturdy stats that tend to favour its physicality over mental fortitude. Due to its alien heritage, the Chuul is also able to innately sense magic, and while it will be making use of its powerful grappling pincers, it will be looking to secure victory with its paralysing tentacles, which could prove extremely deadly to anything caught within their writhing embrace. These tentacles not only inflict the obvious paralysis condition, but also the poison condition, and because of the alien toxins exuded from the Chuul while under the influence of this ability, a creature that is poisoned is also paralysed, making the effects of this attack doubly potent. But the Chuul isn't the only fearsome monster to be gracing the arena in this bout, as in the left corner we have the ferocious Weretiger, a lycanthrope that packs a punch and boasts an extraordinarily high hit point average of 120, alongside a slightly less impressive AC of 12. Weretigers are dexterous and are known for their ability to be able to wield ranged weaponry such as longbows, while also being able to devastate in melee with their powerful bite and claws. Like the Chuul, the Weretiger supports itself with a set of high physical statistics, but breaks away from its aberrant foe, as the Weretiger is considerably more capable in the mental department, with no single stat reaching below a 10. This makes the Weretiger a well-rounded monstrosity that will be looking to cause issues for the claw-clamping Chuul. And with all that said, it does look like both creatures are ready. We have sign-off from both corner teams and our Kobold stewards, which does mean that it is time to roll in for initiative, starting with the Chuul, which will be rolling in flat due to its lack of modifier. So rolling in right here, the Chuul will be taking what it gets on the dice. So let's see how it does. And that is an 8, slightly below average on that roll there, but not too bad. We've certainly seen worse rolls pull off initiative here in the arena, but all the same, we will now be rolling in for the Weretiger, which does have a +2 modifier to its initiative, so we'll be looking to beat an 8 right here. And I hate to say I said it, but that right there is a 2 +2 for 4, which does mean that the Chuul will be taking initiative here and will be starting first. So that will make for 2 very unexpected starts in initiative right here, back-to-back arena contests. And so the Chuul will be kicking things off right here, and it will absolutely be doing everything in its power, using its 30 feet of movement to close the gap between itself and the Weretiger, where it will begin to go to work with its pincers. And so because of this, we will be rolling in with the Chuul's multi-attack here, 2 pincers coming in hot, and so it does get a +6 to this, looking to beat an AC of 12. The first one coming through. And that is a 14 +6 for 20, a surefire hit right there from the Chuul. It immediately opens up, charges across the battlefield, and clamps down upon the Weretiger with those absolutely ferocious looking pincers. And that does mean we will be rolling in 1d10 +4 points of damage here. First bit of damage to come onto the board. And that is a 5, a very average roll right there, with 5 +4 totaling 9, which will drop the Weretiger from 120 hit points down to 111 from that first strike. However, as the Chuul has now landed its pincer attack, opponent, in this case the Weretiger, is a creature that is large or smaller, it does now have the grappled condition, and so the Weretiger is now officially grappled. And all that as the second pincer flies in from the right, Chuul looking to get another hit here on its foe. And with a 16 +6 of 22, that second strike is going to break through the Weretiger's defenses as well, leaving for another d10 +4's worth of bludgeoning damage. And And that is a massive hit right there from the Chuul. It's really capitalized on that original grapple, with that being a maximum hit there for 14 points of damage, 10 on the dice plus 4 as the modifier, which will be dropping the Weretiger down to 97 hit points. And now, as a result of those two attacks, the Weretiger does of course have the grappled condition. This does mean that the Chuul will now be able to attempt to use its paralyzing tentacles as part of its multi-attack. And this means that the Weretiger will now need to make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw. Upon a failure, the target will have the poison condition. It will get to repeat this save at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. After 1 minute of being under the effects, it will automatically succeed. However, crucially, while poisoned, the target does have the paralyzed condition. And so the Chuul is really going to be hoping that this pays off for it right here. And the Weretiger right now, very important roll for it as it rolls in a DC 13 Constitution saving throw. It does have a +3 modifier to this, so it's looking for a 10 or higher on the dice. And it is safe for now with an 11 +3 for 14. The Weretiger has staved off the effects of those paralyzing tentacles and will only be going into its turn grappled. And that will end the Chuul's turn right there, as we do hand over to the Weretiger, which is in a pretty sticky spot right here and does find itself being grappled by those crushing Chuul claws, and it will absolutely want to break free from this as soon as possible, and as such will be looking to use its action to break out of that grapple. And so we'll be rolling in with a DC 14 strength saving throw to break free, so it does get a +3 modifier to this. Once again, looking to see if it can push itself out of the Chuul's grasp. Rolling in +3 modifier. Looking to be the DC of 14. And with a 9 plus that 3 modifier, the Weretiger has only managed to roll in for 12 total, which does mean that it remained grappled. The Chuul's unrelenting grasp simply too solid for the Weretiger to shake. And with that, we will be handing back over to the Chuul, which has complete control over the Weretiger for now. And it's going to start things off this time with those paralyzing tentacles, as it does currently have its opponent grappled. And so once again, the Weretiger will need to make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw to avoid those paralyzing tentacles and the conditions that come with it. So once again, Weretiger rolling in a +3 to this. And a 17 +3 for 20 is going to mean that it shrugs it off once again, as the Weretiger makes sure that it does not succumb to the poisoned and paralyzed conditions. But that being said, it's definitely not out of the woods, as the Chuul is still going to crush in with 2 more pincer attacks, using the one that it currently has the Weretiger grappled into crush and crunch away at its opponent, while the other one flies in and continues to crush away as well. First pincer rolling in, +6 to this. And a 6 +6 for 12 is right on the money, which does mean that the first strike hits. Let's roll in some damage again. 1d10 +4 points of bludgeoning damage, and a much lower roll there with 2 + 4 totaling 6, which will drop the Weretiger down from 97 to 91 hit points as the second claw attack flies in, looking to crush the life even further from the Weretiger. And a 10 +6 for 16 will do the job, so let's roll in that damage once again. 1d10 +4 points of bludgeoning damage, and another 5 bang in the middle there again, +4, bringing that up to a 9, which does drop the Weretiger down to 82 hit points. And the Chuul has attempted to use its paralyzing tentacles, which does mean that we will now be handing back over to the Weretiger, which is once again going to try and break free from that grapple. Once again, rolling in a +3 modifier to this strength save once again, looking to beat that DC of 14. And a 2 +3 for 5. The Weretiger is having absolutely no luck against the grapple. It may be managing to stave off those paralyzing tentacles, but the claws are just excising too much pressure over its body, stopping it from being able to break free from their clutch. And with the Weretiger currently under lockdown here, we will be handing back over to the Chuul, which is going to continue on with its rampage, once again enacting its multi-attack and using those paralyzing tentacles. The Weretiger then rolling in +3 modifier to see if it can beat a DC of 13 once more, as the Chuul continues on its path to try and poison and paralyze the Weretiger. And that right there is not a good roll for the Weretiger, with a 6 +3 only totaling 9, which does mean that it has finally succumbed to the Chuul and its alien toxins. And as it fails this saving throw, it does begin to feel the effects of the poisoned condition. And as we previously mentioned, because of the Chuul's aberrant toxins, that does also mean that the Weretiger is now paralyzed. And this is incredibly bad news indeed, as the paralyzed condition does mean that any attacks inflicted against the Weretiger will be treated as critical hits. And so rolling in now, all the Chuul needs to do is land a strike here, and it will be getting that critical damage treatment, which will really smack down the hammer upon the Weretiger. And so Chuul rolling in its first pincer attack. Again, a +6 to this, looking to beat an AC of 12. And the Weretiger's got lucky with the Chuul rolling in with a 4 there, plus 6 only, topping that up to 10, which does mean the first attack has missed, but the second attack is coming through. And that is that 6 again, plus 6 for 12. The Chuul is really teasing the Weretiger here, rolling bang on the money time after time. But as we know, that does mean that because of the paralyzed condition that is currently infecting the Weretiger, this will be a critical hit from the Chuul. And as such, it will be rolling in with 2d10 worth of damage, plus of course that 4 modifier. So let's see just how much pain the Chuul can inflict upon the Weretiger. And that is crazily pitiful damage. A 1 and a 3 on the dice there, being topped up by that 4 to make for 8 points of damage. That is extremely disappointing there from the Chuul, having dropped the Weretiger from 82 to 74 hit points. That critical hit, they're actually dealing less damage than many of its previous regular strikes. But with all that being said, the Weretiger is still in an incredibly precarious position right here, as it is poisoned and paralyzed, and it does only get to make its saves at the end of its turn. So the Chuul still has the lycanthrope grappled, and because of the paralyzed condition, it will be physically unable to do anything other than just wait its turn out. And so as we come to the end of the Weretiger's turn, it will now be looking to make that DC 13 Constitution saving throw to see if it can break free from the poisoned and paralyzed conditions. So Weretiger rolling in. Let's see if its luck upticks a little bit here. Plus 3 modifier to this. And that is a 5! A 5 plus 3 for 8, which does mean that the Weretiger remains under the effects of the poisoned and paralyzed conditions. The Chuul is absolutely unrelenting, and the toxin seems to have delved deep within the Weretiger's body. Its circulatory system, having pumped these toxins around by now, firmly embedding them into the Weretiger. And that does mean that we skip through to the end of its turn, handing back over to the Chuul once again, which now has no need to make use of its paralyzing tentacles with them already doing their job, and will simply be weighing in with 2 more pincer attacks. Once again, any hits on these will be treated as criticals due to that paralysis condition. So first attack rolling in, and an 11 plus 6 for 17 is going to be more than enough, as we once again roll in that critical damage, 2d10 plus 4 points of bludgeoning. Oh, and that is a mighty hit indeed. 2 10s on the dice there. An absolute maximum from the critical hit, with those 2 10s coming together for 20, plus that 4 modifier for 24 points of damage. That is more like it from the Chuul, as with that very first attack, it drops the Weretiger from 74 to 50 hit points. What an absolutely cracking strike right there. The Chuul has clearly found the point on the Weretiger's body that inflicts the maximum amount of pain, and is capitalizing on it. And that is 24 points of damage from that first hit, and it hasn't even made its second yet. So rolling in yet again, the Chuul looking to push that damage output up even more. Again, a plus 6 to this. And that was nearly a critical hit by itself, with a 19 plus 6, pushing that all the way up to 25. Yet again, another surefire hit from the Chuul. Let's see how much damage it can put down on the Weretiger this time. After that massive critical from the last attack, Chuul rolling in, 2d10 plus 4. And that is still pretty decent, obviously nowhere near as climactic as the last strike, but a 6 and a 4 come together for 10, plus that 4 for 14 points of damage, which will drop the Weretiger from 50 to 36 hit points, for a total damage output that round of 38 points of damage from the Chuul. What an absolutely monstrous round for the aberration, and the Felinid Lycanthrope will not be feeling good after that. With all that said, we will now be handing back over to the Weretiger, which again is still paralyzed, and as such we skip through to the end of its turn, where it will see if it can attempt to break the poison condition and thus escape its paralysis as well. So Weretiger rolling in, it really needs to make this save right here. A plus 3 modifier as it looks to break a DC of 13. And it's a 5. It's a 5 again. The Weretiger is having miserable fortune here. It has simply been completely locked down by those paralyzing tentacles, which again, another battle goes to showcasing just how potent the paralyzed condition really is in one-on-one combat. If you can't shake it, it really is an absolutely brutal condition. And with that, the Weretiger can only quiver and twitch away as its body attempts to fight off the Chuul's invading toxins. As we hand over back once again to the ancient aberration, which will continue to hammer on down with those pincers, once again looking for any hit to make a critical. So rolling in with that first pincer attack from the Chuul, and that is a 13 right there, plus 6 for 19. Yet again, another hit, of course, dealing critical damage once again. The might of 2d10 plus 4 points of bludgeoning damage rolling in once more. And there we go, an exact same roll from last time. That is a 4 and a 6 once again for 10 points of damage, plus that 4 modifier for 14, which will drop the Weretiger from 36 to 22 hit points. As we roll in once again to see if the second pincer attack strikes. And with a 12 plus 6 for 18, it certainly does, which, as you all well and truly know by now, means we are rolling in with 2d10 plus 4 points of bludgeoning damage. And that could have been better with a 7 and a 1 for 8, plus those 4 points of damage for 12 total, which will be leaving the Weretiger on just 10 hit points after that barrage of damage. This really is a sorry state of affairs for the lycanthrope, as we hand over once again to the Weretiger, which can do only one thing, and that is pass through to the end of its turn, where it does look to break free from that paralyzed condition. It possibly is a little too late now. However, it will be rolling in to see what it can do. A plus 3 modifier to this again, looking to beat that DC of 13. And a 17 plus 3 for 20 does mean that the Weretiger has finally managed to shake that poison condition and thus break away from the paralysis as well. But due to the stipulation of when the Weretiger gets to make that saving throw, it does mean that the creature's turn has ended and it is still very much grappled by the Chuul, which horrifyingly will start its turn by attempting to re-poison the Weretiger, as the creature is still grappled by the Chuul. This does mean that the Weretiger needs to make that saving throw once again to see if it can stave off those toxins once more. DC 13 plus 3 modifier. And with a 6 plus 3 for 9, the Weretiger is back under the control of those paralyzing tentacles. It momentarily breaks free. A lapse in the Chuul's defenses possibly. The light re-engaging the Weretiger as it feels movement back in its body once again, only to have that snapped away from it in an instant as the Chuul reapplies the pressure, constricting the Weretiger even harder with those paralyzing tentacles. And of course that can mean only one thing. Such a cruel twist of fate for the Weretiger, but the Chuul will now be dropping in once again with 2 more pincer attacks, both of which will be performing critical damage should any of them hit. And so first one rolling in, and there we have it. That is a natural 20. That is a double crit right there. If double crits were possible, that would be an absolutely brutal output of damage. Unfortunately, that is not how the rules work, and the pincers will be dealing critical damage anyway. But as if to fully cap off the spectacle that has been the Chuul's performance here, it has rolled in that natural 20 and will be dealing 2d10 plus 4 points of bludgeoning damage. So rolling in, let's see if it can finish the job right here. And while not a super impressive damage output, a 1 plus 6 will make for 7, plus that 4 modifier for 11 points of damage, which will be more than enough to put the Weretiger out of its misery. A quick snap from the claws, and it is all over for the lycanthrope, which as soon as the Chuul realizes its opponent's demise, drops it down onto the ground in the arena right here, as the Weretiger's blood joins that of thousands of creatures that have fallen before it. The Chuul bellowing and rasping a hideous cry of deep speech into the audience as it bellows a victorious warble, having earned its place in the quarter-final round, in which it will be taking on the Stegosaurus in a future battle. And as always, I would like to thank you all very, very much for joining me here in the arena, and I hope you enjoyed watching the Chuul absolutely eviscerate the Weretiger in this seemingly super one-sided combat. And if you did like what you saw, please consider dropping a like on the video, commenting down below, and subscribing to the channel. I do also have a Patreon which has both free and paid tiers, and hosts various extra arena interactive features, so head over there and check that out too. And I hope you will join me again next time, when the Helmed Horror takes on the Qualifier in a battle for aerial superiority. And other than that, thank you once again very much for joining me, and I will see you in another video very soon.